Hey everyone, this is Daniel from PhoneArena with the Sony Xperia tipo video review. Sony isn't shy to go down market with Android like HTC is, so the tipo is the first truly entry-level Android from the Japanese. It has a waterfall frontal design with the bottom part of the screen seamlessly cascading into the bezel underneath. No next design with fancy illuminated strips like on the rest of the Xperia line, but the phone's chubby physique with tapered edges of the back is very comfortable to hold and operate with one hand. The build quality is good and the soft touch plastic on the rear adds a bit more premium feeling than the price warrants. The volume rocker here on the right is a bit thin, but with adequate tactile feedback. The power lock key here at the top is comfortably situated on the left, so you just have to stretch your index finger a bit from a usual holding position to reach it. There are three capacitive navigational keys underneath the display which comfortably light up in white, so you can easily find them in the dark. And there's also a nice LED notification light which lights up when you're charging the phone and when you have missed calls or messages. Pretty handy. It's not very visible though, it's just a small LED dot. The 3.2-inch screen comes sufficiently bright for outside viewing and shows good color representation. The meager 320 by 480 pixels of resolution though eke out 180 ppi pixel density, which however is about normal for the category and price the Xperia tipo is in, and you're likely not going to spend hours reading on this smaller screen anyway. The only apparent flaw with the screen is the upper vertical viewing angle. As you can see, color and contrast deteriorate very rapidly with the slightest tilt of the handset with the vertical viewing angle. Now, there's no oleophobic coating on the screen as well, so it smudges pretty easily. Let's have a look at how the Timescape UI looks like on this screen of the Sony Xperia tipo. We've got Sony usual Timescape UI over Android 4.0 ICS here on the Xperia tipo, complete with its deep Facebook integration, which syncs up your Facebook contacts and has widgets with your Facebook friends, and you can update your status right from the home screens. It also has this Mediascape shortcut in the dock, the Recommender app for music, games, apps, and so on, which also has a widget. Sony provides its own connectivity toggle widget, so there are no switches in the pull-down notification bar, as you can see, like on LG or Samsung handsets. Typing on that 3.2-inch display is not very easy in portrait mode, as you can see, especially if you have larger hands. You have to turn the handset in portrait mode for better results, and still a 3.2-inch display is not sufficiently large for comfortable typing. There's a Qualcomm processor here. 800 megahertz is about the bare minimum we would expect even on an entry-level phone these days, but the Xperia tipo is actually powered by it in a pretty fluid manner. The usual hiccups with weaker hardware, slow loading of apps and context indexing is present on the Xperia tipo though. There are 512 megabytes of RAM and 3 gigabytes of internal storage, of which 2.5 are user available. There's also a micro SD card slot for storage expansion. On paper, this processor supports Adobe Flash, but in reality there are a lot of hiccups with Flash performance. Here in the Android ICS browser on the Sony Xperia tipo, otherwise it performs comparatively well considering the processing power. Scrolling, panning around and text reflow are fluid enough so that the browser is usable for quick checks what's going on around the internet. Zooming is an issue though, as the phone takes a while to re-render the page after a double tap. The handset has 7 megabits per second, 3G download support, and all the basic connectivity options, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, HGPS, and FM radio with RDS. We have the usual for the timescape interface, minimalistic music player here on the Xperia tipo. And as usual, the loudspeaker is excellent. As you can hear, it's not entirely clean, but very strong. You have equalizers, song categorization by artists, albums and playlists, and so on. You can turn on the X Loud feature, which boosts the bass sound as well. Overall, a pretty capable music player we have on the Sony Xperia tipo. As far as movie playback goes, the handset doesn't support DivX XVAD vids right out of the box, but it does support MPEG-4s up to 480 by 800 definition, provided that you want to watch a lot of videos on this smallish 3.2-inch display. We didn't expect the 3 megapixel camera on the back of the Xperia tipo to be anything special, but it kind of shut down even our modest expectations. There are usually much more options in the camera interface of the Xperia phones that we are seeing here on the Xperia tipo, and the samples come along to prove that this is a pretty basic unit. Overall, the shot's weakest point is the abysmally low level of detail by any standard. There are also white balance issues, casting hues in the outdoor photos at times. The VGA video that the phone maxes out at is watchable in a small size on your computer screen, but not good for anything else but posting on the social networks, really. In the end, we'll say that the Sony Xperia tipo is a very decent foray in the world of entry-level Android smartphones. It has the performance and stability of Android ice cream sandwich going for it, as well as a very pleasant to hold, easy to operate with one hand chubby chassis with soft touch plastic on the back. The handset's basic hardware won't make it suitable for power users, but it will handle your everyday Android tasks pretty well. And on top of that, it functions very well as a phone, with a loud and clear earpiece and a potent loudspeaker here on the back. A notable downside is the camera quality, which is pretty weak in terms of detail and only captures VGA video. Still, the Sony Xperia tipo is in the same price range as the Samsung Galaxy Y or the LG Optimus L3 and has about the same capabilities, yet sports a better screen resolution and more internal memory than them, and comes with Android ice cream sandwich out of the box. It also has a more distinct design with the waterfall effect here on the front. This was a video review of the Sony Xperia tipo from PhoneArena. For more information about this and other handsets, you can visit us at PhoneArena.com. Thanks for watching.